A racetrack romance as we kick things off. Our Maggie Morley joined by her husband, trainer Tom Morley. They actually had a long shot run pretty well on today's card, one of the 4 turf races, which we'll have for you a bit later on this Saturday edition of Aqueduct Insider. And as Jason Blewett and Richard Migliori get underway from the gate, we've got a lot of ground and a lot of show to cover tonight on MSG+. It sounds a bit hokey, I admit it, Mig, but there's just something about a Saturday and being at Aqueduct at this time of the year.
Really, to me, I've always loved Aqueduct, coming out here from the time I was a little kid, and Saturdays are still a big deal, and there was a buzz in the building, and that's what we want to see. And there'll be an even bigger buzz when we get to the end of the month and have that great Thanksgiving weekend with the Cigar Mile.
Holiday Fest right around the corner. Just keep in mind our opening weekend now at Aqueduct. We're running through Monday. We'll have a regular first post Monday, November 9th of 12:20. Way out on the other side of the country, in fact, at Northern California, Los Alamitos to be precise, we had a California Chrome in action earlier today. Here he is in his Derby win, a couple of Mays back, stretching his legs with a pretty tight gallop for trainer Art Sherman.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's doing really well. Art caught him a quarter and 25 out, 3/8 of a mile, in 37 and change. That's a nice first move. From what I read, it sounded like he wanted to do more. His ears were up. He was enjoying it. So we've had a couple of notable retirements. Well, it's good to see California Chrome coming back as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, almost a case of a remember when. Glad he's back off his freshening at TaylorMade. It bounced all over the country, England, Dubai. Good to have him back with Art Sherman where he belongs, and we'll look forward to him in 2016. Now, this day brought the final afternoon of racing with the UK flat season. That also was the curtain call with jockey, young rider at 32, Haley Turner, who's accomplished quite a bit and day in and day out has been the leading female rider in the UK flat.
Yeah, it's not easy for female riders anywhere. I mean, we've seen them break through here in the States, but it's still not an easy route. In Europe, it's almost unheard of to have the kind of success that she's had, and she brought it here with I'm a Dreamer in the Beverly D. It's to me a little bit odd. I mean, she's kind of calling it pretty early, and I don't know that she had a weight problem or anything, but maybe she just saw a different opportunity, something to take her a different path. It seems like the trend is for these jockeys to become broadcasters. I don't know where this started.
The nerve of them.
I
mean, can you believe it? No, it actually sounds like she's going to be in a spot you're sitting in as we speak with the At the Races telecast, which is, I mean, a daily signal over there. I know that's a very popular signal, At the Races UK.
Well, she's going to learn, much like I did, that she's starting all over, and it's like being a 10-pound apprentice all over again. There's a lot of things you have to learn.
It's not as easy as it looks. We're not splitting the atom, but we are glad you're with us. We're having some fun here in our clubhouse studios, Mig, and let's get it to this opening Saturday card. We ran 9. They broke at 12:20. Let's fast forward, though. Race number 8. It is the Grade 3 $200,000 Long Island. We hope you have your hiking shoes on as we go 12 furlongs, 3 turns on the Aqueduct Turf Course with track announcer John Abrial.
A 1.5 mile Long Island handicap. And Goldie Esponi breaks well from the inside post and is out for the lead. Courtesan is running in second, and Danza Cavallo is third. Then it's Crisol on the outside in fourth. Mutatus Mutandis has made her way down to the inside and is moving up a spot from fifth. Then it's Rosalind next in sixth, followed on the outside by Interrupted. Then comes Walk Close, Got a Chance to Dance, and the trailer is evidently in 10th. The quarter went in 25 1/5 seconds as the field comes into the stretch for the first time. Goldie Esponi, the leader here by a little more than length, with Courtesan on the outside in second. And a little tough to handle there. Towards the inside is Danza Cavallo. Right behind her is Mutatus Mutandis. On the outside, Crisol now moves up a spot. Then comes Interrupted, followed by Rosalind. Farther back has Got a Chance to Dance, Walk Close, and evidently is still at the back. And the half was run in 51 1/5 seconds as they head for the clubhouse turn. Goldie Esponi continues to lead here. It's Goldie Esponi in front by about a length over Courtesan, who's been chasing in second right from the start. Danza Cavallo appears to have settled down now, running in third, with Crisol in the clear on the outside in fourth. Mutatus Mutandis and Interrupted. They're heads apart, 5th and 6th. Then it's Rosalind in 7th, followed by Walk Close, Got a Chance to Dance, and Evidently is at the back. Goldie Esponi continues to lead here. Goldie Esponi by almost a length over Courtesan. Danza Cavallo down at the rail, steady just a bit right there. Crisol's in between horses with Interrupted on the outside. Then the gray, Mutatus Mutandus. And now the pace begins to quicken up as they race midway around the far turn. Goldie Esponi by a half length over Courtesan. Danza Cavallo is down at the rail. Then Crisol, Interrupted on the far outside. Mutatus Mutandus is down at the rail. It's Goldie Esponi, the one to catch. He's got a 2-length lead. Here comes Danza Cavallo on the outside in second. Mutatus Mutandus is third. Then Courtesan and Got a Chance to Dance. Goldie Esponi trying to take him the entire way, and she has led every step of the 12 furlongs, and she wins the Long Island Handicap under Kendrick Carmouche.
Game, set, match fairly early in this 12-furlong Long Island with the French bred, the gray, the speedy Goldie Esponi with that high cruising speed, and Kendrick Carmouche really fits her like a glove.
You know, and I saw the first half a mile, 51 and change. I said, okay, she's going to be very tough. When the 3/4 went up in 17, I said, game, set, match. That third quarter to me is the defining quarter in these marathons, and when she got to walk the dog like that, a quality filly, you knew she was going to be tough to beat.
Quality filly for a quality trainer in Chad Brown, who continues to conquer the turf-graded stakes on this circuit. And it's been a nice affiliation with Kendrick Carmouche and Chad Brown over the last couple of seasons. And here's the MIG with Kendrick.
Kendrick, great ride. When you were able to set down such soft fractions, you had to be feeling really good.
Yeah, you know, I felt a lot of confidence this time that they probably let me go a little bit easier this race than the last Saratoga race. And with that being said, I'm just very appreciative of the opportunity from Chad Brown and the owners. You know, it's been a very successful ride so far in New York, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm sure God is with me.
Well, you've been riding terrific. You've made a great impression since you got here. The thing that is standing out to me right now is you were injured not too long ago, and you came back like you never missed a day. How difficult is that?
It's very strong. You really have to have a mental stage frame of mind, you know, and I just made sure I told the doctor with the broken ribs, keep 2 of them out because I'm going to be really hungry when I come back to riding horses.
Well, you're riding like you're hungry, and the plan is, I'm sure, to stay here full-time from now on, right?
Yes, sir. I love the winter.
Okay, well, you only got one problem because I think there's a couple of police officers over there trying to pick you up for stealing this race.
Ah, that's okay. I'm sure I can buy myself out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And they let him go, and maybe Kendrick is riding home with a bandit mask on, riding off into the sunset after basically stealing the Long Island there, Mig. But this has been an affiliation that began a couple of years ago down at Parks. Chad Brown would send some horses down. Kendrick fit right in, and I got to think Chad and his support is one of the major reasons Kendrick took the big plunge to the Big Apple.
Sure, it had to give him a lot of confidence that he was the guy they were seeking out to ride their horses when they shipped in, and that he would get some support. And I'm sure they tested the waters before they got here. And certainly this is a very talented guy who, when he's well-mounted like he was today, he makes the most of it. And you know what? He's a good guy, too. He's a guy that appreciates the game and appreciates the opportunity he gets. And I think a very, very strong addition to this jockey colony.
30 graded stakes on the year for trader Chad Brown, just a week removed from that 2-victory Breeders' Cup Saturday a week ago at Keeneland. How about a little Uncle Si? Do you remember him? One of our good friends from the 2014 Winter Meet. He will look for his first victory since his 2-year-old season on the other side of this quick timeout.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the 2nd floor at Aqueduct.
It's that time in the show. Name the jockey.
That'd be Mike Luzzy. Come on. I can't get that wrong.
You nailed it, man. You're perfect this week.
Yeah, he's going to get tough on me now, though. And, you know, the news I hear is that Lane Luzzy potentially could be having his first mount at Laurel this coming Wednesday. And talking with Mike earlier in the day, that Lane is going to be riding in the same silks that Mike rode in his first start for the Gaudet family. Pretty interesting. The dad got started with the Gaudets. Now the son's going to get started with the Gaudets.
Wow, great ties and lineage down in Maryland with the Luzzy family. Glad Lane is doing okay and putting in those mornings working over at Belmont and Aqueduct. He's been galloping horses for quite a while, and we'll look forward to his first career mount. Glad Mike Luzzy's back with us and healthy. He'll try to get some business going. One of the sort of key generals or key veterans in this jockey colony. And I guess when you're riding going forward, a tricky, sort of tightly configured inner track like the one we have here at Aqueduct, experience over it can only help.
No, experience is a huge factor, and I think the leadership role in the room, and now you've got guys like Mike Luzzy, Kendrick Carmouche, certainly Aaron Grider coming back, a guy who's had great success on the inner track. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of a mature look to this colony this winter with that same very talented young group.
All right, good mix there on both ends of the spectrum as we get it back to Johnny I, who, speaking of longevity, he's been here quite a while, still doing a great job, and he's got the call from the gate in Saturday's third.
And they're off. And they all came away to a clean start. From the rail, it's Escape to the Moon, and on the outside, it's Alex the Terror. Escape to the Moon pokes ahead in front. Alex the Terror runs in second. Fury of the Norseman and Awesome Bill. Their heads apart as Long for the City gains ground down at the rail. Escape to the Moon narrowly over Alex the Terror. Fury of the Norseman is third. Silver Ride is 4 wide. Between the lines is 5 wide. Down at the rail is Long for the City. Then comes On Tap, and Awesome Bill trails in 8th. The quarter went in 23 2/5 seconds as they move midway around the far turn. Escape to the Moon at the rail, holding on to the lead over Alex the Terror. On the far outside is Between the Lines in third. Long for the City down at the rail. On Tap moves up in between horses. Then it's Fury of the Norseman. The half was running 46 seconds there in the stretch. It's still Escape to the Moon. Escape to the Moon digging down on the inside. Challenged here by Alex the Terror. Between the Lines on the outside. On Tap is in fourth. Less than a 16th to the wire. Escape to the Moon. Alex the Terror. It's those two. It's Alex the Terror by a head. Escape to the Moon was second.
Oh, man, no love lost with Escape to the Moon, who really showed up with a big effort and did not want to let Alex the Terror by. In the end, though, Alex the Terror just that much better down to the wire.
Terrific horse race, and both horses ran too good to lose. Almost heartbreaking loss for Escape to the Moon. But who gets the money? A guy we already talked to this afternoon, Kendrick Carmouche, as strong a finisher as you're going to see. And Manny Franco is involved a lot today on all levels, long shots, some shorter price horses, but a young guy who I think's really picking up his game is going to have a terrific winter.
And much like Kendrick, maybe his injury happened earlier in the summer upstate at Saratoga, but he did not have a smooth August upstate, and he's gotten back in fine form, picking up some good business, and the Toscano's doing some good work, and some fine work, in fact, with that Colt by Mineshaft and Alex the Terror, third start off the claim. Here's Uncle Si, race number 7. The chalk players made him 4-5. He does not have an easy task in front of him. It's a solid field that includes the second choice from the white-hot Todd Pletcher. Let's see what happened as we pick up the call with Johnny I out of the chute.
Euros to dollars grabs the lead over Bugle Blues with Lehigh 5 on the outside and Pierce's Prize towards the rail. Send It In is running in between horses in 5th. Uncle Si is down at the rail. Then it's a Deputy Buster Stone and a break of 4 to Repent Twice, who trails the field in 8th as they head up the backstretch. Euros to dollars challenged by Pierce's Prize, and the two of them are heads apart for the lead, and Bugle Blues just off the front runners in 3rd. The quarter went in 23 2. Send It in between horses 4th. Uncle Si, the favorite, is down at the rail in 5th. Then on the outside, Lehigh 5, followed by Deputy Buster Stone and Repent Twice. Less than a half mile to the finish after an opening half in 47 seconds, 3 of them across. 3 long shots, Pierce's Prize, euros to dollars, and Bugle Blues. And Uncle Si is just in behind, had to steady there just a bit. Send It In is on the outside of Uncle Si, and now Repent Twice is on the move, just 3.5 lengths from the lead as the field comes for the quarter pole. It's Pierce's Prize in front. Uncle Si comes off the inside. Send It In is right there. Uncle Si looking to come on through in between horses. Send It In on the outside. Repent Twice and Pierce's Prize. It's between Send It In and Uncle Si with a 16th to the finish. Uncle Si on the inside. Send It In on the outside. The two of them battle right down to the wire. Uncle Si by a nostril. Send It In was second. Then Repent Twice and Pierce's Prize.
Photo finish and a tight one down to the wire. We had a number of close races on the main track today and a good battle between Uncle Si and Send It In. Mig, take us through off the quarter pole.
Well, to me, this was the key point in the race. Uncle Si's looking for room. Send It In is trying to close the door, but Jose Lezcano was able to get out from behind the leader by that time, and Manny Franco couldn't close the door on him. That was cat and mouse. That's what race riding's about. Jose Lezcano, a very alert move. Manny Franco trying to get there, didn't quite get there in time, and that was the difference between winning and losing.
And Uncle Si able to save a bit more ground than Send It In. It was 3 wide or so around the far turn. Off a 2-month layoff, Uncle Si, a 4-year-old by the late Indian Charlie. It remains to be seen, however, and he ran fine today, and kudos to Bill Mott and the Wachtels for getting him back in the winner's circle. But are you still wondering if he may be the horse that he once was?
You know, other than the one blowout maiden victory by Uncle Si, he's been involved in a lot of close races, and he doesn't seem to have that exact killer instinct you want to see. Now, maybe this victory is a stepping off point, something for him to build on. I still want to see him basically smother a field of horses. I want to see him put separation between him and a field of horses and use all of his ability. I feel like he gets there, and he feels like his job is over.
And he's still got the state bred, 2 other than allowance conditions, so we'll learn a bit more about Uncle Si, and hopefully we get to see him running all winter. He is a likable kind of horse who is pretty game, despite the fact he likes to cut it pretty close and doesn't put horses away. Let's see what else happened. Opening Saturday of the fall meet, I think Andy said we have 25 more Saturdays to go before we're back at Belmont Park. 25 Saturdays at the Big A. Here they come off the far turn in the first, and Johnny I's got the calls all the way through race 9.
And Resourceful on the outside, Danzig Storm on the inside. The two of them are right together as they pass the 8th pole. Resourceful with a head in front. Danzig Storm battles on. Farther back, it's Ross J. Dog and Norm the Giant. It is Resourceful, counted here by Danzig Storm, and Danzig Storm won it at the very end. Danzig Storm by a head. Lead is down to 6 lengths, now down to 5, down to 4. Artie Crasher's the one making up the ground on the outside. Springer's Point and Artie Crasher, and then Change Will Do You Good, and Artie Crasher has taken over the lead. Change Will Do You Good on the inside. Artie Crasher in front. Change Will Do You Good giving chase. They come for the wire. Artie Crasher the winner. Change Will Do You Good was second. Elwha from way out of it for third. Pep the Champ was fourth. The extreme outside, Storm Petrel is in behind horses. Then comes Two Below on the outside, gaining ground. Two Below continues to move up, and Storm Petrel follows that move. So it's Storm Petrel and Two Below, and the two of them right together. T.O. is down at the rail. Storm Petrel in front as they come for the finish, and it will be Storm Petrel. Won by 2.5. T.O. did get second over Two Below. The outside, Brimstone, Super Psyche down towards the rail. The field comes into the stretch, and they have 40-1 shot. Pop the Hood to catch. Pop the Hood has popped away here to lead by 7 lengths. Brimstone is second. Then Apache Warrior, Super Psyche, Anton B, and Muscarello. And it's going to be a runaway victory for Pop the Hood at 40-1. Brimstone second. Muscarello was third. Continues to lead as the field turns for home. It's Compliance Officer in front by a length and a half. Katernix is on the outside of Mr. Rosenthal. But in the meantime, Compliance Officer is clear now by 3. Compliance Officer in front, then Mr. Rosenthal and Katernix. They're not going to catch Compliance Officer. The old boy rolled today. Compliance Officer, an upset winner at 18-1. Then a Fleet Alfredo and Rob the Weezer, the half in 46-1. And Spooked Out has drawn away here to lead by 5, now by 6 lengths. Spooked Out with the big lead as they come down for the wire. Gaming is moving up on the outside. Then it's Garrigan, Storm, and Steven. A clear-cut winner here. Spooked Out breaks his maiden in a big way. Looked like Garrett got second over Gaming.
Well, we bucked the trend of tight photos in the last race. That was some kind of hole-in-the-wind effort from Spooked Out for the Pletcher barn.
Wow, he ran through the wire. Sometimes horses win by daylight, but you don't see them really finishing. This horse had his legs underneath him and ran through the wire. I think stakes are in his future. He looked really good.
So did Caddy Enos. Not a giant surprise owned by Rapoli Stable. Mike's got some good-looking 2-year-olds, many of them state-breds by Giant Surprise. Not that Caddy Enos colt. Compliance Officer, not 2, won his first race back in late July of '09 at Saratoga, and he is still going strong and getting it done.
Pretty remarkable, and this is what happens when you put a classy old veteran on the lead in a slow pace. Manny Franco did a great job. He just ran them off their feet, and you knew about halfway into the race, the way he's going to be a pretty tough customer.
Yes, had to be a gratifying victory for Bruce Brown, and one of the best claims Bruce will ever make, and one of the best claims I can remember on this circuit in recent memory. He's just a fun old veteran as Johnny V sits #1 in the standings with 5 victories, a riding double today for Kendrick Carmouche, and Manny Franco picked up a riding double as well. On the trainer front, Todd Pletcher's barn, and they have come out gangbusters here at this newly begun fall meet, a head shy of Send It In against Uncle Si, winning 3 races today, and it was fairly light in the claim box. We had a couple out of race #2, including Artie Crasher, who went out for Pat Reynolds, and he wanted a big Baba Booey from Mig and I when he won a race, and he won it today, so there you go, Pat Reynolds. Change will do you good, a 4-way shake, and a couple claims out of race #6, and we have got a Sunday preview. The weekend at Aqueduct is young, winning coming your way, along with Andy and Maggie, so stay with us. Oh, who's that, Mig?
That's my former valet, John Milano, and that's my daughter's godfather. And what people may not know, not only is he a tremendous valet, he was a great rider, too.
Great rider. He still has the scrapbooks. There's a nice picture of him outside the steward stand upstate at Saratoga, and he looks like he's about 10 years old, but it was when he had the bug. And he's my Uncle John, too. He's not my technical uncle, but I've been calling him Uncle John since the late 90s.
A tremendous person.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Let's move on to race #6. We go from a great man like John Milano to a horse that has a great following on social media in the Gray Juba.
Juba has disappointed many times now. He's run good races, doesn't seem to find that breakthrough performance. My personal opinion, if Juba's ever going to show or fulfill the promise that people have for him, they need to take him back and make one run. He's involved in fights every single time. I know he has natural speed. I would want to see him come from off the pace just once.
And off the pace was something Smovelis did in a wild finish over a whole bunch of horses, including Alex the Terror.
Yeah, this was a wild finish, and he got a terrific ride this day from Eric Cancel. Eric Cancel now serving the suspension. Jose Ortiz picks up the mount, but he saved ground, was able to come out and get up in the shadow of the wire. And I think there's enough pace in this race to set up that kind of late run from him again.
Let's talk about Newbin Ridge and Sir Bond as we head back to Big Sandy in the middle of September.
Yeah, Newbin Ridge got the best of it this day, and certainly Sir Bond, maybe he did more of the dirty work. Newbin Ridge was able to come from a bit further off the pace. One thing I always look at, particularly when we get to Aqueduct, I like horses that have success at Aqueduct. On the surface, Serban, 2 starts, 1 win, 1/3. Newbin Ridge, 3 starts, only 1/3, no first or second place finishes. If you're tossing up between those two, I'd go to the one that has shown success at the track.
Late double is our next stop as we get on to race number 8. State bred A other than Fillies and Mares. My Supernova and Golden Gem faced each other at Belmont on September 23rd.
Yeah, My Supernova finishes second here. Golden Gem a little bit further back. I thought just kind of came up empty. I didn't see a lot of excuse for Golden Gem. My Supernova, I like the outside draw. Even going 6 furlongs here at Aqueduct, I think she projects to get a good trip. She has enough speed to be involved, but she doesn't have to be involved.
And which tactics does Shotgun Love employ? She can run and gun, but she showed even in her last start she can rate and actually pass horses.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Her one effort where she was on the lead on a fast track way back at Belmont, to me, she kind of bottomed out. I like when she's a little bit more patient. I don't want to see her use her all of her speed early. I'd like to see her save it and come with a little bit of a run.
And you've got a bit of a speed type in Spuntastic, and she faced Shotgun Love not too long ago, back in May, for Spuntastic going turf to dirt for Kieran McLaughlin.
Yeah, and she's been successful, you know, on dirt before. Obviously here she's winning on the dirt. Worked out a decent trip this day. I like the angle, turf to dirt, and I like Kieran McLaughlin. Anything he puts on the track, you got to give a long, hard look to.
Well, you got to give a long, hard look to whoever Maggie and Andy have for us as we send it over for Sunday's plays.
Let's take a look at race number 1 on Sunday's card. It's a maiden race. Maiden claimers, actually, 6.5 furlongs in the dirt, and there really isn't much for them to go on in this race. And they're likely to default on the 4 Little Schmo or perhaps the 7 horse in here, Ghost Catcher. And they do seem like the right 2 horses. But there's another horse that I think is equally likely to win, and because of more low-profile connections, the 2, Congrats Kid, is going to be a much better price. And I'm not sure on paper that he isn't just as likely to win as anybody else in the race. So for me, Congrats Kid looks like a possible value play to start the day off in the first race on Sunday.
A little change of scenery for today's Paddock Insider. Well, in the office, and going to take a look at race number 9 on the Sunday card. It's for the 2-year-olds. We're going to mount a 16th on the turf, and a 3rd-time starter out of the Rick Violet barn is number 6, Arctic Joy. He did not run very well in a race restricted to Canadian-bred horses there at Woodbine, but he did run well enough for me in his first start at Saratoga, and I did like him a lot in the paddock, so I'm hoping that this course is a little bit firmer than the one he went over at Woodbine. He also adds blinkers, so I like that fact. I liked my first impressions of him. That's why I'm going with Arctic Joy for tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
Like the digs, Maggie. Back up to the clubhouse studio as we get set to say goodbye. Getting back to Andy's play, though, Congrats Kid. I think there's a few angles you like as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Andy has to say about it, but the other thing is this horse is based here at Aqueduct, and I like that too. It means he doesn't have to ship over from Belmont. Now, it's not much of a ship, but they got to get out of the routine. They've got to get on a van, come across town. He comes right over from his stall. He's been training really well at Aqueduct. I think he has a lot of things to like on top of what Andy had already clued you into.
It's the old home field or home ice advantage, something the Rangers don't have tonight out in Arizona as they look for another win on the road, right?
Doesn't seem like they need it. They took care of Colorado, didn't they?
Yep, we'll see how Ronti does in the net tonight. Kendrick Carmouche, Chad Brown, another win together, and that'll do it for the Saturday edition of Aqueduct Insider. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on MSG+.